In this video, I want to go over OptiView's two P&L visualization tools and the interpretation of the output of those two tools. The first thing to note before getting started is that you have to have at least one option selected in order to view or visualize any kind of payoff. So here you can see on the right-hand side of the screen in the overview panel, I do have already an option selected, and the payoff profile is depicted here on the chart. On the left-hand side, we have the historical price of the underlying selected, which is Apple in this case, plotted onto the chart. The two tools we have on offer are the Implied Pathways tool and the Heat Map tool. The Implied Pathways tool is the tool we can currently see. What the Implied Pathways tool shows is the pathway that the underlying asset's price needs to either follow or exceed in order to achieve a certain payoff. The green lines here indicate a positive payoff, the red lines indicate a negative payoff, and the yellow line indicates the break-even point. By hovering over any of the points on this line, I can see what my payoff would be under various assumptions of the underlying asset's price and at various points in time up until expiration. For example, if I hover on this point here, I can see that on the 11th of July 2026, if Apple's price is to increase to $316, I would have made a $3,530 profit. On the flip side, if the price of Apple actually doesn't move in the way that I anticipated or hoped for, I might incur a loss. For example, if I hover here, I can see that on the 10th of July 2026, that at a price of $244, I would incur a $1,118 loss. The beauty of the Implied Pathways tool is that it really shows the convexity of the strategy. If we flip over to the heat map mode, we can interpret this in a very similar way. The big difference with the heat map mode is that it gives you a broader range of dates and underlying asset prices in order to assess. So for example, if I hover over this point here, I can see once again on the 13th of July 2026 at an underlying asset price of $308, the value of my option would be $2,763. The big pro with the heat map tool, a big benefit with the heat map tool, is that we can also assess the Greeks from this view. But I'll dive into that in a later video.